And we're live. Hey, Shalom, Israel, Yahweh Hashem, Yahshua Barakatam, Yahshua Al-Tam, Hashem, Yahushai, and welcome to the Spanglish Experience, right? I'm your host, Captain Ash Apari, and with my co-host, Officer Kazak Ahmad, every week, you know what I'm saying, we're coming at you with this and also the other, what's it called, alerta that we'll be doing every time we get something that's powerful, that impacts, and it just right now happened or just happened a few minutes ago, on that day, we'll bring that up, you know what I'm saying? But today, we're going to talk about a situation that is happening in Puerto Rico. And I've seen all the videos and on the TikToks and all the abuse. Today, we got to talk about it. What I'm talking about is domestic violence. Domestic violence is a big issue in Puerto Rico. And as I just learned, it's also a big issue in Mexico. Today, we're going to talk about this brother called Felix Verdejo. And if I could, my gun, I'm going to the article that I already got pulled up. I'm going to put it on the screen, but I'm going to read a few lines, and then I'm going to show a video of Felix Verdejo. If you don't know who Felix Verdejo is, he's a Puerto Rican boxer who was I want to say under the wing of Felix Tito Trinidad, another Puerto Rican boxer. What I'm saying? It was under his wings. But let me bring out the article, if I may, and I'm going to read about a paragraph, maybe two, just to put everybody in perspective, okay? So the headline reads, Puerto Rican boxer Felix Verdejo charged with killing pregnant woman, right? So this is a picture of him, right? So then, once again, you can find this up on NPR if you wanna read the article yourself. But it says former Olympic boxer was arrested in Puerto Rico on Sunday in the kidnapping and murder of a woman who was pregnant with his child amid troubling and persistent rise in violence against women on the island that has triggered a state of emergency. Puerto Rican boxer Felix Verdejo Sanchez, also known as El Diamante or the Diamond, appeared in court Monday morning where he was ordered by the judge to be held without bail. He turned himself in on Sunday after officials announced they had identified the body of the woman believed to be his girlfriend. Officials say they discovered the missing body of Keishla Marlene Rodriguez on Sunday and made a positive identification using dental records, according to a forensic report released on Sunday. Sanchez, who competed in the 2012 London Olympics, is charged with kidnapping resulting in death, carjacking resulting in death, and intentionally killing an unborn child. Each charge carries a lifetime sentence or the death penalty. The FBI criminal complaint states that a witness whose name has not been released has first-hand knowledge of Rodriguez's disappearance and is cooperating with the agency. FBI Special Agent Lorenzo Villanova Perez chronicled the gory details of the alleged kidnapping and killing in an affidavit filed in court on Monday. So I'm going to read some of that, okay? According to the agent's testimony, Verdejo contacted an unnamed witness on April 27th to ask for help in terminating Rodriguez's pregnancy, which she had confirmed after taking a pregnancy test. 2 days later, Verdejo made plans to meet Rodriguez at her home. Verdejo and a witness drove to the meeting in a black Dodge Durango SUV. The federal document adds that Rodriguez drove himself to meet Verdejo in a gray Kia Forte, then got into his vehicle. After a conversation between the two, Verdejo allegedly punched the pregnant woman in the face and injected her with a syringe filled with substances purchased in San Juan. And so that way y'all know these substances were purchased in the projects. The name was called Lloren Torres, okay? With the help of the witness, Verdejo reportedly restrained the woman's arms and feet with wire and tied a block to her body. According to the affidavit, Verdejo and the witness then drove the two cars to the Teodoro Moscoso Bridge in Puerto Rico's capital, San Juan, where they tossed Rodriguez into the water. Verdejo shot at the victim with a pistol from the bridge, affidavit states. Puerto Rican police officers discovered Rodriguez's abandoned key on April 30th. Using cell phone records and surveillance footage from the bridge, police also found at least one shell casing on the bridge. It was a day after her family had reported her missing. All right. Uh, so let me give you this part too, because this is important. 27-year-old boxer had been married about 8 years to a woman named Elisa Marie Santiago Sierra, and the two have a child named Miranda. According to postings on Verdejo's Instagram account, he was hoping to stage a career comeback, but lost his most recent fight to Masayoshi Nakatani in Vegas. There's a newspaper called El Nuevo Dia. His wife, Elise Sanchez Santiago Sierra, was also interviewed and confirmed to authorities that she was aware that Verdejo and Rodriguez knew each other and had a relationship. Kayla Ortiz, the victim's mother, who was aware of Rodriguez's pregnancy, immediately suspected Verdejo and urged authorities to investigate his whereabouts after the 27-year-old woman disappeared on the 29th. She called him a murderer and told reporters, "He is not the diamond. The diamond was my daughter." Ortiz urged officials to find justice for Rodriguez and her unborn grandson, as well as all of the other women across Puerto Rico who are brutalized by men. Okay? So now, so anybody else that wants to go read this, let me just copy this link and I'm gonna post it up in the comments, and y'all can go ahead and read. Let me stop it right here. Bring back Kazakh Yard. Let me see. Kazakh Yard right here with me.
That's a sad thing to hear, sir. That's a sad thing to hear, you know,
Yep.
because you were looking at a boxer, and you know how boxers are, man. Like they have me as someone who used to my early years also do the same. You know, we go to the gym to kind of get away from the nonsense. You know what I mean? The gym is supposed to be like, I would say, not a sacred place, but at least a getaway place from getting
Yep.
away from everything else that's going on. You know, you unleash all your rage, all the problems, everything you're going through, you unleash it inside the ring. You know what I mean? You get to spar, you know, the workouts, the training. You know, you got good coaches who understand what's going on. A lot of coaches who have, you know, seen people come and go, especially when
Right.
you're a coach, man. You see kids come in and you know where they're coming from because you know what a hard life a lot of them are coming from. Especially if
Right.
you're in the gym, it's because you're probably having problems at the house. And you know what? I'm gonna say raza. You know, a lot of raza, Puerto Ricanos, Cubanos. You know, all of us who are Latinos, we love the gym. Boxing is our thing. You know what I'm saying? Is like our thing. That's our second nature to be like that. And
Right.
to end up like this, man, this is just something that you know the surroundings and I guess, man, I'm gonna say just trying to be American, man. You know what I mean? Is like the ruin. But I'm gonna say with this brother right here, man, it's not the first time I hear about this, sir. Do you remember Edwin Valero?
Valero. Valero. Sound familiar? Go ahead.
Valero was a Venezuelan boxer, and he
Right.
also killed his wife. And then they took
Damn.
him to jail, right? And in jail, the second day he's in jail, he hangs himself. You know, and he was a promising boxer. I think he had like 68 wins and 42 knockouts. Like this guy was going for like he was gonna be the champ. This is like 2010 for this Edwin Valero. He was gonna be a real champ, you know. And
Right.
man, someone that Venezuela looked up to. Imagine how many kids looked up to this brother. You know, it's the same with this brother right here. You know, looking at him and seeing where he's coming from. You know, and we're seeing all that he does. You know, and kids like look up to them. You know, and to see this kind of madness come on top of you, it's just like
Right.
man, it's it's unimaginable what you must have been going through. I know that the brother Edwin Valero, he used to live in poverty. He was on drugs, alcohol. He had demons on him, sir. Like we say in the UPK, man, he had demons on him, demons that
Right.
he couldn't cope with. And even in
Right.
the gym, maybe that's why he was such a prominent boxer because in the gym he would let out all these demons. And in the
Right.
end, they caught up to him, and it was just it was his era fue su derrota. No, not the ring. The ring no fue su derrota, sino the demons inside of him fueron
Right.
su derrota. You know what I'm
And
saying,
if
sir?
if I could add something else on top of that, it's so important, and you're absolutely right. But let's talk about some of the roots of people
He was gonna be a real champ, you know.
right.
And
Right.
man, someone that
Hold on, hold on.
Venezuela looked up to. Imagine how many kids looked up
Go ahead.
to.
Okay, my bad.
Some feedback.
So I was saying that we also gotta see the situation. Why is it that a brother like that and the brother that Edwin, what was his name?
Edwin Valero.
Valero, Edwin Valero, or in this case, Felix what's his name? Verdajero, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Verdejo, Edwin Verdejo, right? Um, why is it that brothers like that? These are two brothers that we're mentioning, but like we read in the article, it's a plague. It's a plague that's happening in the island of Puerto Rico, where sisters are constantly being killed. Sisters are constantly being abused, right? And I'm gonna bring out the two-sided coin in this one. And a lot of people who watch this might not like it. I talked about it in the class, but I'm gonna talk about it here anyway, right? But it's just two-sided coin in that it's sad. No brother, no brother. Here's good. No brother should ever lay hands on a female because that only shows that you are weak inside to even contain yourself from wanting to hit a sister. I know sometimes sisters can get you to that point. Sisters can get you to that point where you want to knock the crap out of her. But don't
Absolutely.
do it. Don't do it. And in the same breath, I'm gonna say this to the sisters. Some of you sisters are just outright monsters and don't like nobody to tell you that. Some of you sisters, and I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? There's videos, you don't have to believe me, pull up all the video footage where sisters go up to their men, start kicking and punching them, and the man take them licks, take them punches. The reason is because these brothers grew up to hearing the same narrative that all Christians say. You don't put your hand on a woman, you don't put your hand on a woman and it's right. But then why they don't say in the same breath, and you don't put your hand on a man. You
God.
don't put your hand on the man. That's what they should be teaching as well. Don't put hands on nobody. You know what I'm saying? If you're in a relationship, do not do it. Period. You know what I'm saying? But for not teaching that for the leaders of our people who cause us to err, like the Bible say, you got a brother like Edwin Valero, you got a brother like Felix Verdejo, who end up killing their wives. And in the case of Felix Verdejo, right now he's being demonized all over the spot. You know what I'm saying? Now I heard another thing. I don't know if it's true. They say that he didn't do it, X, Y, Z, but it'll come out to light anyway, whether he did it or not. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing that I do know, as we read in the article, there were cameras on that bridge. You know what I'm saying? So those cameras, you can't really escape it unless they're blurry images. If those were them high definition cameras, he lost right there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He lost right there. You know what I'm saying?
And I believe she was pregnant, out of one.
Yeah, I was about to mention that too. You know, like not only is he going to jail for that murder, but he's also murdered his own child. On top
God.
of that, you know what I'm saying? On top of that, and it's sad. It's a sad case. You know what I'm saying? But you can blame
God.
Christianity for that. You can blame your church-going pastors and your pimps for that. The failed leadership, because your job was to teach our people the right thing to do. Right thing to do is to never put hands on nobody. Period. If there's an argument, if there's a discussion, well, guess what? Work it out. The best solution is, if it ain't that serious, then forgive each other. Let it go. You'd be surprised how much things get worked out when you just let it go. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, the sad part, sir, is that these brothers, like I said, these brothers, when you see these brothers, man, these brothers are setting are supposed to set an example. They're supposed to be an example for young kids who want to go into the boxing, into the boxing, forum,
Oh, yes.
who want to become somebody, who want to escape what's going around, because that's easy money right there. You know, a lot of young
Right.
kids know that they're good boxers, man. They're gonna make money right away. You know, you get into
Right.
this circuit where, let's say you're in a gym and they got these circuits where they take you to different gyms to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll go to
Right.
one gym for a tournament, then you go to another gym, and you work your way up to the golden gloves. And the golden
Right.
gloves is like, that's the beginning of when you understand you're a good boxer. So if you get to
Right.
golden gloves and then you get past that, well, you already know you're already a somebody. This young man, you know, Edwin Valero, also, you know, the Venezolano, and this young man, they knew they were somebodies. You know what I mean? They knew they were
Right.
gonna do something, and unfortunately, man, you know, life took a toll on them because, you know, violence is just not the way. You know, and you
Right.
know, the ring is something completely different. It's a sport, but when you start taking it a different direction, especially when you're mixing drugs and, you know, your past, you know, it seems to be, you know, like I said, es la derrota para cualquier persona que quiere
Right.
hacer algo.
Hey, Kazak, just do me a solid. I need you to, if you could, right? I'm gonna step out here for a real quick second and do something real fast, and I'll be right back. But Oscar Ward is in here with you. You might want to put him up into speed and let him give his input and what have you. I'll be back immediately.
Okay, concert. What's going on, Oscar Ward? Shalom, y'all. Can't hear you. Your mic is
Can you hear me
muted.
now, sir?
I can hear you now. I can hear
Can
you
you hear
now.
me now?
I can hear you. Khan, you're
Shalom, sir.
good. We're talking about, you know, that young man who's being accused of killing his wife, Felix Verdejo. You heard about that?
I
So Felix Verdejo is
haven't
this
heard him.
Puerto
I haven't
Rican
seen it on my
boxer.
phone.
Was that?
All right, Salaki, go ahead, sir. Salaki.
Oh, so Felix Verdejo is accused of killing his wife, but not only his wife, man. His wife was pregnant, and they're accusing him of killing his wife and his child. So they're supposed to be taking him to court and charging him with the killing of his wife. You know, and that's a sad thing because we were talking about, you know, when you talk about, you know, boxers, you're talking about men that are in the ring that kids look up to and other people look up to, and then you're seeing these kind of things go down where they become a victim, or they victimize, you know, due to issues that they may have, especially like psychological and emotional issues. And when you see these brothers, man, and this happens to them, you understand that that could happen to anybody. You know, a boxer's supposed to have, like, you know, they're supposed to be mentally straight, brother. They're supposed to be like real strong. You know what I mean? So when you see these things happening to them,
Right.
imagine if it's happening to them. Imagine it to a regular kid, a regular everyday brother who's just at home. You know what I'm saying? This could happen to anybody. You know what I mean?
Right. Kind, sir.
And it's sad. It's his wife
So,
was
so,
Hispanic too. He was Puerto Rican. His wife was Puerto Rican too. I got a picture of him in here too. Let me try to show this picture of this brother right here. I don't know if anybody's watching, but
kind.
it's good to see this, man. Let me see. Oh shit! Turn on my cam. Let me see if I can turn this around.
Kazakyan, sir. You're not able to see the image you're trying to show, Padawan. Yeah, man. So what's happening to this brother? I don't know much of what's happening to this brother, right? But the situation is something that comes from being an Israelite without the Most High being in your life, being an Israelite without obeying the Most High, knowing the Most High, and this is all in the Bible, and that's why the ISUPK is so important because of the UPK, brothers who turn to Christ and actually heard the priests and prophets of the Most High, now they don't have to go through what this brother's going through, and what this brother's going through is in the Bible. It's prophesied in the Bible thousands of years ago that Israelites would be going through situations like this. This brother was a professional. This brother was a boxer. This brother shouldn't have emotional outbursts like this. As a boxer, you're disciplined, you're healthy, your mental state is clear. But it happened because this brother's an Israelite. He's under the curses.
Hey, I'm gonna see if I can bring in some more brothers here that are commenting, and I believe it'd be good if they get up in here.
Salaki said I got booted out and I was hanging out, but I heard Oscar Ward take over the class. Salaki.
Most I credit the water too for that, Oscar Ward.
Thank you, Oscar Ward. The water.
No sweat, sir.
Appreciate it. Just hang on tight. I want the other brothers who said made their comment to come on in. Let me see. I'm just gonna post the link on Kamada and Ayar. I'm gonna post the link right here. Y'all can just come in, click that link, and just come on in, and we'll discuss this situation right here. Now, as I was stating earlier, right, that this whole situation, yeah, like he said, it is written up in the Bible. It's part of the curses in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? It's a thing that because we broke the Lord's statutes and commandments, now the Lord plays us with these things. You know what I'm saying? But having a leadership that's no good for us, they don't show us the right thing, they don't guide us the way we're supposed to be guided. Therefore, in our mind, we're going to lean into our own understanding, like the Bible says. And in the Bible, it clearly states that we should never lean to our own understanding. You know what I'm saying? And of course, the brother in his mind saw no other way out. You know what I'm saying? Saw no other way except I got to get rid of this woman. You know what I'm saying? Instead of finding an alternative, he just got weak and decided to go with. And more than likely, he got into his emotions, and because you have to go through do what you did to your own to this. Not only was it your wife, it was a sister. You know what I'm saying? A sister in general. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Donna McCon,
You
sir.
had to go
If I could, sir, I have a precept.
Go ahead.
God, sir, this is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 20. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me.
And that is definitely wickedness that brother was strucken with. You know, that brother got struck with wickedness. To do that to a female, to his own wife, to his own child. I think what was happening though is that I don't think that brother was trying to stay with that woman, and the only solution he found was to kill her, because supposedly she wasn't even, you know what I'm saying? They weren't even married or anything like that. They were just like they were together, but it seems like that brother was stricken with not knowing what he wanted to do. You know what, sir? That's one of the things that come with fame and fortune. You know, fame and fortune will lead you to not understanding what you want to do in life. You just know you want to be making money. You don't want to get stuck with anybody. You want to live your life free. And that brother, that's what he got stuck with. And that was his solution. That's how he thought he would end his problem. You know, couldn't even think straight to do the right thing.
That's right. That you, and you're correct. And the problem with that is again, you just gotta blame who it is. The blame goes to where it goes, right? Okay, yes, we get blamed because we didn't keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Yes, but the part that who controls this world? You know, who controls the planet Earth? That's who you got to blame because of what he put out there. What he put out there was something very deceptive. One of the things that were very deceptive is saying that a man could only have one woman. You know what I'm saying? Well, in Puerto Rico, a lot of brothers on the quiet tip do be having side chicks. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about in Mexico. I don't know about anywhere else. I don't know if it's like that. I could only assume it's like that too. You know what I'm saying? It's not like this is something unique to Puerto Rico. I'm pretty sure in Latin America, brothers do be having some side chicks. But you got a lot who got that Christian mind state. They say, oh no, you can only have one wife. You can't have another one on the outside. And the crazy part is his wife of 8 years knew he was dealing with this woman. And from what I heard, there was no issue between the both sisters. Like it was okay. You know what I'm saying? So then the brother just wasn't taking responsibility. Is it all the way his fault? He can take the blame, and the blame he will get. But that goes once again back on the leaders who didn't show him what to do, and he didn't even see the other alternative. I can't raise this child. But then I'm more sure that the second wife's family, the one that died, they were going to step up. They probably going to take care of the child, no problem. It ain't the first time a child doesn't get raised with their father in the household. It would be all the way better, but it ain't the first time. I see Officer Kamada come on in. They should have a sugar thug.
Christ. Go
ahead.
Oh, so like I said, what I was reading was that he already had a wife, like what you were mentioning already. He already had a wife prior, and this was like his so-called. I say so-called because in truth we could have multiple wives, as you was explaining, but he got a woman pregnant. He got a side woman pregnant, and I guess he didn't want that pregnancy to come. I guess he wanted her to have an abortion, and she was just going to follow up with the pregnancy, and he had her meet him up, you know what I mean, and then I guess he got some type of anesthesia or something where he injected her, you know what I mean, after she had met up with him. He tied her up, kidnapped her, and punched in her face, and he did all that he did. He was just trying to hide the pregnancy from coming to light. And he's a boxer that's also signed a top rank. You know,
Right.
and Top Rank is a big boxing promotional company.
Right.
You know, they sign a lot of famous boxers. You know, and you know, from Top Rank, they don't want to release him until he's proven, until they convict him. They said.
Right. Okay, we got another brother from California up in here. I don't know if y'all know him, but he said Shalom Yeshua out of Cali. I don't know where, but he's a young man, so he just probably came in. And but yeah, so now Kazak, yeah, now tell me about in Mexico or wherever, like let's talk about Mexico. How problematic is the best word I could use is the domestic violence.
You know what, Mexico? I'll tell you something. The violence against women has always been a serious, serious issue in Mexico. I don't know
Right.
if you remember back in the '90s, they had this thing in Mexicali. Mexicali, I believe it was. Oh no, it was in where was it? Ciudad Juarez, where they were
Right.
killing women. Like there was a mass murder going around, and it wasn't just one. I'm pretty sure it was a lot of, a
Right.
band of people going around just murdering women like ridiculous. Like it was like almost like a ghost story that they were
Mhm.
talking about of how many women were being mutilated, disappearing, killed in Ciudad Juarez. I don't know if some of the brothers remember that Ciudad Juarez, the killings of Ciudad Juarez, but Mexico, they have the same thing. Right now they got, like I was saying before, Arwan, they got this rally right now with these women who are rallying for violence against women. They do this
Right.
feminist movement. The only thing is, of course, now you're seeing this feminist movement get out of hand. These women
Right.
are taking it to a point where it's ridiculous, where it's not no longer to do good, but it's to prove a point by
Right.
what they're doing is they're destroying, they're vandalizing, they're burning, they're destroying shops. It's ridiculous what they're doing. But the violence on women in Mexico has always been something, one or the other of a problem. Ya que los hombres de allá son bien machos, you know what I mean? Puro
Yeah.
macho, in Mexico. But yeah, it is a problem. But I'm pretty sure everywhere you go, there's a problem with that because once again, like Oscar War said, we're fitting curses. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that's all of us. We all fit these curses. It's just Puerto Rico's nothing new. I had mentioned that brother from Venezuela, who killed his wife also, murdered his wife, and then hung himself, killed himself afterwards. He was a
Right.
prize boxer too, with almost 86 wins, 46 by knockouts. This
Right.
brother was moving. He was gonna be a somebody, and
Right.
the whole domestic violence just overwhelmed him. And just like anybody, man, that's why it's necessary to start to come into this truth and start to realize, man, that the problems that are going around are affecting everybody. And you never know, man. Not being with the Lord, you could be caught up in that violence yourself. Like this brother, I'm sure he never thought he was gonna be caught up like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That was never
If I
something he
could,
must
sir.
have, you know.
Go
Go ahead.
ahead.
God, so I just wanted to touch on what Kazakyat is saying. What he's saying is heavy as always. And also, I'm thinking about what you said, Captain Ashaparium, where you said that we have to look at the leaders, and people know that for generations our people have believed in Catholicism, basically Christianity, and because we believed in that, because of our lifestyle and things like this, incidents like this, it shows you that lifestyle, that belief doesn't profit us at all. Why? Because it's supposed to show you the truth about the Bible, the truth about the Most High. And if
Mhm.
they knew the truth, this brother wouldn't try to this brother wouldn't try to have this woman abortion his child. He wouldn't turn to murder if he knew the truth about he's an Israelite. Murder is against the Most High. He
Yeah.
would have never hurt this sister. he wouldn't have had a problem with him having multiple wives. You know what I'm saying? And because y'all was saying this heavy as well.
Go ahead, finish up. Salaki, go ahead.
No, I finished up, sir. So like,
Okay.
I lost my point.
Every Christian, every person that ever been to church, which is damn near all of us, right? We've damn near all been to church. Not one of us cannot go by life saying, well, we never heard the 10 Commandments, right? Not only did we hear, thou shalt have no other God before me, for I am a jealous God, right? But we also heard, and we hear it every year because, you know, a lot of us in the world like to celebrate the Semana Santa, the Viernes Santo, right? And then Dia de Pascua. And throughout those days, it always shows you El Rey de los Reyes, que si los 10 mandamientos, you know, the King of Kings, the 10 Commandments, right? And you always heard them commandments, the 10 Commandments, right? One of them being, thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not kill, right? And everybody's heard that. The problem is, you can hear thou shalt not kill all you want, but if you have no full understanding of what the Lord is saying there, you can't put one and one together. You know what I'm saying? You can't understand when those laws were written. Not only they were written for us to obey, but there's a brotherhood spirit in them. You know what I'm saying? Like our people don't understand that portion of it. Had this brother known brotherhood, he would have known never to kill that sister. He would have had compassion on that sister. He would have cared enough to say, you know what? I know I'm in a biz right now, but guess what? Let me talk to my family. Let me see what I can do in this. Because it wasn't really that serious. It's a child meeting. You mean to tell me you go kill your, not just your wife, but your own seed. I'm going to read this right here. I'm in Deuteronomy 28 chapter, the 54th verse. It says, so that the young man that is tender among you and very delicate, right? Young, just like Verdell, right? Young, right? His eyes shall be evil towards his brother. And that happens every day in the hood, in the barrio. You know what I'm saying? Well, brothers being beef, constant beef with each other. That's why we got our gangs hanging among each other. That's why we've been in our own household and in our own block. There's always beef like that. You know what I'm saying? The blocks stay hot because why? Brothers be looking evil towards another, right? It also says, and towards the wife of his bosom. That's a perfect example. That news was evil toward the wife of his bosom. You know what I'm saying? Like he killed the sister, killed the child with no thought. Listen. It is crazy. You living in 2021 where there's goddamn cameras everywhere. How far you think you was gonna go? You know, get away with it. You already read in the article that there was a camera on the bridge. So somebody saw you do it. There's no way of getting out of that. You know what I'm saying? There's no way of getting out of that. But it's Bible prophecy, like because it's Bible prophecy. These things are happening. And now imagine if the Christian leaders would have took the time and go through this, like the way Commander Johanna goes through to teach us this. You know what I'm saying? I want to ask UPK, that won't happen. If a brother can't handle a child, well, guess what? No problem. There's somebody to call, somebody you get in contact with, a camp leader, and bring the child. It has happened. Have we not heard it? It has happened in Houston, right? In Texas, right? Where Captain Yatazak, they gave a child that he went and took and started raising it up. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing new. If you can't handle your responsibility as a parent, call the ISUPK. Get in contact with one of the camps. We are going to give you the solution on what to do if you cannot handle raising up a child. If you're a brother who always think you could punch a sister and use that as a punching bag, I highly recommend that you get in contact, because you know when you're punching the crap out of your wife or out of your girlfriend, right? You know deep down inside something is wrong with you. You know you should not be doing that, but you can't contain yourself to prevent yourself from knocking the living daylights out of this person who you're supposed to be your wife or your girlfriend. You know full well she's weaker than you. If you were a sister, if you a sister, hear me good, that loves to talk crap and belittle your husband in front of everybody, because there are them sisters out there, you know what I'm saying, who like to get away with knocking that brother out, knocking that brother in front of people, knowing full well he's never gonna put a hand on you because he was raised, you gotta respect women, you can't put your hands on her, and then you know this, so that way you go ahead and just decide to pound on him. You know that's wrong as well. You need to contact the ISUPK. We got help for you because that's what you need. You need some real help. You need a real solution to your damn problem. That's the problem. You can never get real help in the church. Sorry to tell you this. Church, la iglesia, they're not equipped to help with the domestic violence issue. Straight up and down. You know what I'm saying? Um, and so the issue with Feliz Vendel, we're going to hear the situation and the outcome of what is going to happen. Now, I did hear also on NPR that that they are starting a movement in Puerto Rico, because I know from when I lived in Puerto Rico all the years, what we're hearing now about the domestic violence in Puerto Rico, that's not been new. I've heard this like since forever. Every year, they always come out with a statistic. I guess this time they could not contain that information on the island that it got out like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's not new. I heard one case when the sister, now of course all judgment comes from the Lord. The sister went, waited till her husband leave. She went and pulled her side piece of meat. Dude went, slept in the brother's bed. She was, they were doing their thing. Brother come home out of nowhere, saw them two, and let them both have it right there and then. So now we have 3 lives that are destroyed when it should have never went that route. And I'm pretty sure that happens in Mexico. I'm pretty sure that happens in Central America, because I've been talking to people in Central America. Domestic violence is rampant also in Central America. You know what I'm saying? Is it rampant in the United States? You goddamn right it is. You know what I'm saying? But where did we learn that? Go ahead.
Hey, sir, I want to say this though, right? This young man killed his wife. He's under investigation, right?
Right.
But I believe that remember Gotti?
Yeah.
Remember Gotti? His wife
Yep.
killed him. Isn't that so? His wife killed Gotti. They went on vacation somewhere, I believe. Isn't that what happened? They were on vacation, and then Arturo Gotti was with his wife, and the next thing you know, his wife, he's dead.
Right.
They say, but they're saying it was suicide, and they released his wife anyways. They let her go because they didn't find her guilty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Maybe because she was a white woman, they didn't find her guilty. But she killed Gotti because she could not attest for where she was at during the murder of Gotti. And everybody says she was right there with him. But you know what? She was set free. Even though they blamed her for the murder.
Yeah. But you see, look at that. Even with the heathen, right? Even with the heathen, but you see, this is a culture. That kind of culture, okay, with us, because of we broke the laws, but also oppression to make you do something that you're not supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Being oppressed, what do you say? Act like what the world says, safety? Like goody two shoes? Nah. Being in poverty creates criminology. You know what I'm saying? Oscar, were you there or you? Well, okay, it was one. I know a Commodore. I don't know if it's he's not showing up.
But like I was saying, they let that woman go, even though they knew she killed her husband, and Gotti was a prize fighter. Arturo Gotti was a prize fighter. You know what I mean? Out of New York, I believe. He was out of New York, and that was a prize fighter right there. This woman killed him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
and they didn't do nothing to her. They let her go. They let her go. They couldn't pin it on her. But I think what happened is they were out of the country when that happened, and that's why they didn't even want to go with anything against her. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
But they were heathens, you know.
Right. But my point being is that this is the kind of culture that exists in this type of society. You know what I'm saying? Because without the laws of the Lord, you're going to act in the wrong fashion. That's why He told us not to.
Salaki, sir.
Not go ahead.
I'll be back right now, sir. Salaki.
Okay, go ahead. Do your thing. And soon we gotta bounce out of here because you got your class very soon, right?
God, I got my class soon, sir. So I'm in here for another couple of minutes. Then I gotta roll because I gotta get my class underway.
Okay, what time do you start?
I'm gonna start about 8 o'clock. So we got a little time, maybe 7:30. I'll dismiss myself.
Okay. Most time fast. But what I want to say, let me say it fast, is that this is the society that we live in. We live in an oppressive society. So us as Israelites, we're taking on the customs of the people. What's one of the customs of the people? To beat the living crap out of your woman.
Absolutely.
Had it been in our kingdom, guess what? Your ass is dead right there. You know what I'm saying? You can't be. You're not allowed to do it because it's unbrotherly. Christ told us, love thy neighbor as thyself. Meaning, you love that brother, that sister, right? Who's just like you. You love them as yourself, as you would. And also, more importantly, He said, love the Lord with all your might, your heart, and what? Your soul, right? Paraphrasing. Meaning, the things that the Lord told us and commanded us to do, we have to apply that as well to our brothers and sisters. We couldn't be abusive to the Lord. We couldn't eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster, steal, and this and that. Therefore, we could not do that to our own people. And by not doing these things, we became evil towards our own people. Brothers became evil towards the wives of their bosoms. Even sisters says they be evil towards her own husbands. You know what I'm saying? So what to do? We gave you the solution. That's why we're here with the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge. You have an issue at home, domestic violence, whatever they may be, pick up the phone, contact the nearest ISUPK camp. That's what you do. You don't just sit around because you already know if you don't do anything, you'll be the next statistic. You'll be the one that they find under the bridge, tied up with wire and blocks. You'll be that next person.
Absolutely.
You'll be that. If you're a sister and you think like you're a man and you got a husband who don't want to put their hands on you, even though he has the right to defend himself, but because he was raised to be accepting of what was taught to him about concerning women. She's a woman. She's weaker than you. Don't put your hands on her. And then that sister go and put hands on you. I'm sorry. But everybody has a right to defend themselves. That's just the way natural things. You have a right to defend yourself. The best way to start defending yourself is contact the ISUPK. You know what I'm saying? If you're Black, Latino, Native American, Indian, we truly have the solution for you. Put all pride to the side. Put everything to the side. Pick up the damn phone. Get on Facebook. Send a Facebook message. Go to the ISUPK.com website, get their information, so on and so forth. Check out our YouTube pages, you know what I'm saying, throughout all the cities and states and whatever country we in, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Mexico, Central America, wherever we act, you know what I'm saying. Heck, we probably on the other side of the planet, for all I know, but we there somewhere. There's not no place on the planet you could never get in contact with the ISUPK if you got an issue, you know what I'm saying.
Especially nowadays, sir, that we're getting so close to the time.
Go ahead.
Especially right now that we're getting so close to a time when man, we're seeing how bad it's getting out here, and I'm gonna say the word. I'm gonna use the word evil, and just these demons all around that are making people do some nonsense, including the drugs and all this going on, and now more than ever. We got to find a stable place to establish oneself, not only for yourself, but for your family. Because you can't only worry about yourself, you got to worry about your family too, because your kids are growing up into this environment of just violence and you know, domestic violence to say, and just, you know, just nonsense going on. So we got to find a way to bring yourself, you know, into realization that you do need a location. You do need a place. You need a place to establish yourself where brotherhood helps out when you have a problem. Because sometimes, man, the places we're looking for help are not giving the help that's really needed, and that is, you know, spiritual help, and not your Catholic or Christian church, but the real help that comes from, you know, the brotherhood and the Lord and the Bible. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's so deep, because brotherhood, like the Commander Johanna said, is a weapon. It's an effective weapon. It right, combats all malice in you if you apply the love that the Lord showed us in these scriptures. It will do it. It changed your life, didn't it? It changed Oscar Ward's life. It changed Canada's life, my life, because we decided to follow what the Lord said to do. Now here we got Latinos right here, all coming from different backgrounds. Lord knows what we all did in the world, but here we are together, trying to help other brothers and sisters that are in the same situation that we once was in. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
Go ahead, Oscar. Were you about to say something?
Yeah, Con. So I just want to say, like, you know, what happened to this brother and what happened to the brother that Kazakia brought out, the other boxer. This brother's a boxer. Most, you know, I'm pretty sure they have money, more money than our regular Hispanic brother and sister out there. And it just shows you, man, like, no matter how much money you make in this kingdom, you're never gonna make it to where you actually want to. Because if you got money and you're rich and then you die, your kids are gonna be fine, but they might go into drugs, they might become drug addicts. Even if you have money, become a drug addict, your daughter might become a whore, whatever. And you die, and your people are still gonna be oppressed. Your sons die, their sons die, your people, our people are still gonna be oppressed, getting murdered, slaughtered. So this shows you, man, all this don't matter. All this, you know, brothers out there trying to be boxers, brothers out there trying to be, you know, millionaires. If you're trying to make money and be rich, and you don't have the Most High in your life on how to direct all that money that you get, it is for no reason, man. The only way we're gonna get true success is by following our King Yahweh Shai. If I could, you know, Matthew 1:21 says that he shall come and save his people. It's not talking about all people. It's talking about one nation, and that's Hispanics, Blacks, North American Indians. Our only solution to true success is in the scriptures, following Yahweh Shai, keeping the commandments.
Right, that's right.
Absolutely.
Hey, can I ask you something? I'm right here trying to look for the scripture where it says that love shall leave the earth, or that something with the word cruel in it. I want to prove that because of the fact that that's what we're living today. We're being cruel towards each other. You know what I'm saying? But the cruelness that we being towards each other comes from our oppressor. That's the bottom line. Comes from our oppressor and also weak leadership. You know, those brothers who run churches, pastors, reverends, and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to get out the damn church or hand over the keys to the ISUPK, because we'll show you how to run a congregation in the right spirit. You know? We'll definitely show you, because you don't know. I'm pretty sure you'll sit down with Verdero and ask him, do you believe in God? He is going to tell you that he does believe in God. Because they all will. They all will. Not one of them that be going to jail, that commit a crime, that use drugs, this and this and that. Not one of them cannot ever say, nah, I do not believe in God. You might have maybe somebody that will, but for the majority, they will say, no, I believe in God, I believe in Christ. Yeah, but they do nothing that he say to do, you know?
I believe maybe, like, it might not be the one you're looking for, but in Romans 1:28, if anybody has it, Romans 1:28. I know that at the beginning of Romans 1:26 or 27, it talks about vile affection, talking about homosexuality. Paul's talking about how people will be given up to vile affection, homosexuality, women with women. But as you continue reading down, it goes on to say about unrighteousness, wickedness, maliciousness, and murder and envy. See, those that Paul is talking about is signs of the end of time, when we'll start seeing this multiplying people, and people will be haters of God, right? Disobedient to parents, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things. When you read that one in Romans, that one in Romans talks about all that's going to come upon the human race. I'm talking about everybody. They're all going to be like this. You know what I'm saying? And it's a sign towards the end of times. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let me see if I can get it.
Right. But that one wasn't the particular one. But if we can't find it, that's not a problem. But I wanted to show that because that's what we're leaving, like you're saying today. I think you might have used the word increase, but I'm looking at it like hate should increase or something like that. I don't know if I'm using the right word, but if it's not, we don't find it, it's not a problem. But what we can take away from this story is it's a common thing in the ghetto, right? It's a common thing in the ghetto. Of course, that type of animalistic way of being comes from our oppressor. Comes directly from our oppressor, like the way to be a drug dealer, that comes from our oppressor. To be a drug user, that comes from our oppressor. You know what I'm saying? To be a gangster, that comes from our oppressor. You know what I'm saying? That definitely, you put that on them. Everything wrong in our lives comes from our oppressor. And I know a lot of you Christians might see this video, might hear us talk, you know what I'm saying? Might not like what we say, but it is the truth nonetheless. It comes from our oppressor. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's so important. We celebrated the Passover. You know how beautiful it was to see all these families out there? Like, there was a lot of brothers who I didn't really talk to Oscar Ward like that much, or Commodore like that, even though they were there. You know what I'm saying? I didn't talk to much of people because I was doing, of course, you know, y'all saw me, I was very much busy. But one day we can sit down and have a drink, this and that, and talk about the Passover. You know what I'm saying? The funny, the stressful moments that we went through to make it all work. You know what I'm saying? But you got to put in work to make something work, right? If you in a domestic violent relationship, if you do nothing, I feel sorry for you, because you're going to get the result of what you're going to get for doing nothing. But if you're tired of it, if you're tired where hands are being put on you, right, then you need to reach out to the ICB. I can't say that enough. Or if you don't care about your people, then keep going to church and see if that pastor's going to help out. See if that's going to work. You know?
Done.
Anybody else got something to add before? I can't find that scripture.
Salaki, sir. I think I have it.
Go ahead, Kamala. Salaki.
I think I have the scripture.
If I could, what you were touching on, because go ahead, sir, Officer War. So like I said, if I could, I was gonna say it's so heavy what you're talking about. I remember, I can't recall if it was a brother in Texas, but he was talking about the spirit of domestic violence, like putting your hands on women, and he was saying how, like, you know, the white beater, which would be like the muscle shirt, that comes from white men beating on their women, and you know that's a spirit. You know, you putting your hands on a woman or vice versa. You know, doing drugs. You know what I mean? That's the white man's spirit. But you know how you were saying, you know, it's so important to come out of that church, and because otherwise, you know, you think that you have to deal with this domestic violence at home, you know. And I've seen a lot of videos on social media where it's male and female, you know, both talking about how, you know, their man or the woman came and scratched up the car, burnt their clothes, and this and that, right? And
right.
you know what I'm saying? But that's the reason why the UPK has the security in the security announcements. It has that, you're supposed to court a sister, and that courtship will save you a lot of, dealing with a lot of unclean spirits. You know what I mean? And that's the reason why, people need to seek and come into into the UPK. You know what I mean? So they can learn how they're supposed to deal with courtship. Once you lay down with that woman, once you lay down with that man, and you don't and you don't court them, you don't know that's a wrath of unclean spirits coming against you. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's so important, you know what I mean, to have the UPK, in these times to upbring these kids, you know what I'm saying? Because nowadays, when I was young, it was a certain age, but now it seems like, these kids now are you know what I mean, are more sexual experienced at a very young age. You know what I mean? And if their parents are not teaching them, you know what I'm saying, that and the so-called leaders, they're just gonna lead them astray. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why the UPK is so important. And that's all I have to say, sir.
You touched on a really, if I could, and then I'll pass it on to the ward. If you touched on something right there because it brought to memory this, right? That's the wrong place to learn about anything sexual is in the school. Like realistically, think about this. You're 13, 14 years old, right? Or 12 years old, 11 years old, and then they start giving you sexual education when really that's supposed to be coming from your parents. But we get sexually educated by our oppressor, who's already a sexual deviant from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? We should. The school system, the way it's set up, really ain't set up to benefit us like that. Okay, I understand reading, writing, and math, but there's a lot of things in school that we could do without. Things that we know that we're never going to use in life. You know what I'm saying? They should only, whatever those extra things that they now currently teach the kids, it should be a choice. Does the kid do you want to learn that? Because if you're looking for this profession or do this in life, then you should also include this in this lesson. But what they should be giving us is how to do auto mechanics, how to do construction, something that if you never went to college, but you got a trade, you still can survive. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I was young, they still had them courses going on. Where if you took automotive, you could do what they call it, a home ed, right? Something that you do that you could, if you never went to college, you still had a vocation. Something that that you'll get a certificate and still, okay, I could fend for myself, I could offer my services, I could put a drywall, paint this, and that. Nowadays, we got to learn it hands-on experience because I don't think there's any school that teach those things. You know what I'm saying? And if they are, then guess what? You got to pay for that. When that should have been left in school from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? That should have just been left there. But then, of course, once again, they took it out because they don't want us to do better. They rather see us kill our sisters and the baby she carried. They rather see us sell drugs. They rather see us be criminals. They rather see us be the low lives of the earth so that way they can kick us like dogs afterwards. They set the conditions, leave it open, and guess what? Just like I've heard in the past, you take a slab of beef, say about this big, with 20 pit bulls that haven't eaten in 2 weeks. What do you think is going to happen?
Right.
Go ahead, Oscar Ward.
Right.
Kyle, sir, I think I have the scripture that you're looking for, Adawan.
Go ahead.
So Matthews 24 and 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
Is
that the one, sir?
Thank you. That was it. Read that again.
God, sir, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
Start 11.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 11. And many false prophets shall rise.
There you go.
And shall deceive many.
There you go. See, that's the church.
Verse 12.
Church. Hold on, Salaka. That's church right there. That's Christianity, a lot of false prophets, right? Not teaching the scripture the correct way, like way Commander General Yohana in the ISUPK does, like the way the generals in the ISUPK does, like the way the captains and officers do. You know what I'm saying? They don't teach you the truth. They don't teach you what the Lord wants his people to do. They don't even teach you who is the Lord's people. But they teach you a ton of falsehood. They teach you a bunch of lies. They pacify you. You know what I'm saying? They pacify Israel. You know what I'm saying? And what else to say? And shall deceive many. By what? By saying that God love everybody? Where's that in the Bible? Some Christian, please post right now in the comment where it says God loves everybody. And do not go to John 3:16, because that don't even say that God loves everybody.
Right.
But that's always the go-to for Christians, even though that does not say God love everybody, because you don't understand what the world mean, right? And then in 12 it says because iniquity shall abound, right? Why iniquity shall abound? Iniquity is what? Sin, right? Why does it abound? Because of false prophets who deceive many.
Right.
Right? What else does it say? The
Hey,
love,
Salaki,
of
sir, I'm gonna,
The love of many shall wax cold.
there you go. That's what
Salaki,
happens. Right? Go ahead.
Salaki, I'm gonna excuse myself because I'm gonna get ready for my show.
Okay. All right. Shalom Yashakata.
Salaki for interrupting, but I'm gonna excuse myself.
Go ahead. I'll finish it up with Oscar War and Canada. Okay.
I could jump off too. I gotta drive for Officer Kazak Yads.
So you help Kazak Yard?
Yeah, Sir. I gotta drive to his house.
Okay, most likely. Then go ahead. Then.
So like
Go
you
ahead.
said,
I'll finish up Oscar War. Shalom Yashakata. See y'all next week. All right. So yeah, Oscar War. That was the one I was looking for right there. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're going through today. Love of many shall wax cold. The love of many, it ain't talking about everybody on the planet Earth. It's talking about many of Israel. Many of Israel. The love of many shall wax cold, meaning there ain't going to be no more love towards each other. There's going to be a hateful way towards each other. Why? Because false prophets, deceivers, lie to us, telling us things that's not in the scriptures, telling us things that has nothing to do with the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Nothing to do, making us act in a way that has nothing to do with the scriptures. So then these people start questioning the past and all that. They want to do the right thing, but end up sinning, end up killing their own significant other. We got to do better than that, Israel.
Right.
That's why you guys come into, if you're black or Latino or Native American Indian, it is very important that you check us out every day. We got classes going on every single day. You know, we got the Command General Yohana's radio show, Black Watch. You know what I'm saying? We got the Cross the Line radio and so on and so forth. Check us out. You want to learn Hebrew? We do it now, both in English, as we've been doing, but now if you speak Spanish and you quieres saber o aprender hebreo, el lenguaje hebrea, miércoles a las 7 p.m. hora de Nueva York. You come in Wednesday, 7 p.m., okay? Another thing is that we have to now set up classes every day for Spanish. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're going to have to do, because you see you here, you see the other two brothers here, right? We got more and more Latinos coming in from that. They only speak Spanish, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Do you speak Spanish, Ash?
I speak it somewhat, sir. Somewhat.
Somewhat. All right. Well, Lord allow the brothers that are in Puerto Rico, the officer in Puerto Rico, and the other brother that just started today, hopefully he get his gears up and come through the same straight gate that we did, and he become an officer. Then we have two brothers that can speak the Spanish fluently and get it in, you know what I'm saying? But we need more of that, you know what I'm saying? We need more of that.
Damn right, sir.
So,
Come.
at the given moment, I speak Spanish, so I can speak English. And you need counsel. If you speak Spanish, si necesita consejo, puedes conectarte con ISUPK Puerto Rico, tirarme un mensaje por Facebook, por YouTube, Si quiere llamarme personalmente, tírame la llamada por Facebook Messenger y atiendo, okay? Um, that's all I got for today. You got anything else before we roll?
Nah, that's it, sir. That's it.
Okay. So once again, this is a Spanish experience, right? Excuse me, the Spanglish experience because it's Spanish and English. But hope you join us next week at 9 p.m. on Wednesday, where we'll touch on other subjects. You know, bring us something that you might have not known about Latinos and our culture. What you'll find out if you're black or Jamaican, West Indian, or Haitian is that there ain't no difference. Each tribe got their own little flavor to it, but in spirit, we're just the same people, just different flavors. 12 different tribes got 12 different flavors to them, but it's the same people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With School Universal Practical Knowledge, I'm your host, Captain Al Prime. I'm right here saying commanding. So used to saying commanding junior high, but Captain Al Prime, we got officers in Oscar War, and just check us out next week. All right? Shalom, Israel. All right. Shalom, Yom Shakatah.
Yabashim Shapatasa.
All right.